What is going on, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 242 of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Of course, my name is Blaze, and on today's episode, I'll be talking about the card that's on your screen, Charizard GX, a potentially devastating card that, you know, has its downfalls. It's not without its problems, but I'll get to that in just a second. I'm also going to take on a couple of matches in Versus mode, and I'll be opening up another booster pack of cards. Not too sure what that's going to be just yet. If I get 200 tokens by the end of the episode, it will be a Guardians Rising pack, but we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned for that. But getting back to the card that's on your screen here, this is Charizard GX. It has 250 HP. Kind of a decent amount for a Stage 2 GX Pokemon. It evolves from Charmeleon, but you could use a rare candy to go ahead and get this Pokemon out on the second turn of the game, if you wanted to. There are reasons why you may not want to do that, though, which I'll cover in just a second. It also has a weakness to water, which is expected, and a retreat cost of 2. No resistance on this card. But Blaze, what about the attacks? I can't read Japanese. Well, I got you covered. Here are the attacks for Charizard GX. The first attack is called Wing Attack. It does 70 damage. Kind of expensive for an attack that does 70 damage. It's 3 colorless energy. Wouldn't be entirely difficult to power up, but only 70 damage makes it kind of hard to justify using it. Of course, you do have things like Volcanion to help you get that energy onto Charizard or Charmander or whoever it is that you have on the bench, Charmeleon, if that's the case. But 70 damage is not that much. I have seen a couple of decks out there that run Lurantis GX. So you'll be hitting for weakness on decks like that are plant type or steel type. So that's a potentially devastating 140 damage. Could even be 200 damage if you attach the Choice Band to Charizard GX, so keep that in mind. Not too psyched about the first attack there, Wing Attack, but it might be the attack you actually end up going to more often than not. Simply because Crimson Storm is the next attack. It does 300 damage, but also requires you to discard 3 fire energy from this Pokemon. Very, very hefty energy cost to get this attack started, and discarding 3 energy cards is very hard to justify. You might be able to use this attack once. It'll leave you with 2 energy cards left on this Pokemon, so you can go ahead and attach another energy card and continue to do 70 damage. But 300 will probably KO pretty much any card that's out there right now. So, while it's kind of a GX attack on its own, it's very tough to get powered up, and you're going to have to rely on Volcanion to get that energy attached. You're also going to have to rely on max elixirs and a few other tricks and things like that to get this card powered up quickly enough. Otherwise, if somebody sees a Charmander on your bench, they're going to try to kill it right away because they know this might be coming. So you may be able to use this attack twice, maybe, and you'll get 4 prize cards from it. Burning energy could help in that scenario, depending on how well that goes, but your opponent does have the option to discard that energy, which would just slow you down. Partnering up with Volcanion and Volcanion EX are probably the best move, but again, that might be a little bit too clunky. Especially if you're relying on the GX attack, which is called Raging Out GX. You can only use this once per game, but you discard the top 10 cards from your opponent's deck. Nuts. That is nutty. That is a crazy attack that could potentially win you the game if you're building your deck around the strategy of making your opponent discard cards. So I've come across a deck like that on several occasions. It's very annoying and very hard to counter. But if you have a GX attack that makes your opponent discard 10 cards from the top of the deck, that's only like 30 more that you have to somehow get into the discard pile. So put a Float Stone on this Charizard and keep him out of the active slot for as long as you can. Even a scoop up or whatever they call it now, where you get to flip a coin and pick up this Pokemon from the bench into your hand. That might even help as well. All you need is a GX attack in order to make that work. But you can also try to slow your opponent down with Enhanced Hammer and Crushing Hammer, Team Flare Grunt, and Team Skull Grunt, and try and get as many energy cards into the discard pile as you can to make sure that your opponent doesn't get anything attached, and also make sure that that you're discarding as many cards from the top of their deck as possible. So I think Houndoom was a really good card for that as well. So you could actually discard, I think it's the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, and put a Fighting Fury Belt on Houndoom. You may end up discarding a lot more cards than you think. So, and there's also Team Rocket Grunt, I think, that lets you discard cards from the top of your opponent's deck. So there's a few strategies there. I think this card is probably better used as a card to discard your opponent's deck rather than a card to deal 300 damage. But if you wanted, you could probably go either way. Either way, it's going to be difficult to get that Crimson Storm attack powered up. And, of course, it's a Stage 2 Pokemon, so it's going to be even harder to get into play in a variety of scenarios. Wally can help, but then you'd have to sacrifice discarding energy in order to get evolved quickly. So, you know, and you also want to keep your Charmander as long as you can if you're trying to use things like Max Elixir. So try it at your own risk. It could potentially be a devastating card to put into a deck, and it could see some play. Pokebeach.com seems to think that this is it deals a lot of damage to entice kids, but the card has little competitive substance, and they're probably onto something there. They probably play the game a lot more than I do, and they're probably right. But in the comments below, let me know what you think about the Charizard GX card I just talked about. I think there's a little bit of potential there, and you're probably going to see a few strategies built around the idea of discarding your opponent's deck. So, you know, once Burning Shadows becomes a live set, we'll see how many cards or how many people try that strategy out. But as of right now, try it at your own risk is all I can say. Let's go ahead and get into the versus mode today. Give me 1 second here. I'll get everything pulled up here for you, and here we go. So, going into versus mode, again, I'm playing the deck of the month, Flame On. It's a deck that I built just kind of out of having a Turtonator GX in my collection. I wanted to kind of build a deck around that, and Houndoom EX came to mind, so I made that a pretty quick adjustment into this deck, and I think it's going okay. I think yesterday I won 2 out of 3, and the day before that I won 3 in a row, so it's going okay. We're going to keep going and keep pressing on, hoping for the best, of course, as always, but there's always room for improvement. So, my opponent looking for cards to put inside the bench. Oh, I don't have any basics. Oh, Eevee. That's all I got. That's all I can do. I don't even have like an Ultra Ball or anything else to get extra cards. I'm very heavily relying on my opponent to use in for me, but that's not happening this turn. Of course, Espeon GX is coming out in a very much psychic deck. If I can get everything powered up quickly enough, I can maybe do something, but it's going to be difficult. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Crushing Hammer would not be ideal. Ugh. Of course it worked. 30 damage and confusion on the Psybeam. I'm going to use a Crushing Hammer of my own. Cool. Totally worked. I'm also going to try to get something else going. 130, 120. This is helping him get more cards in his hand, so I kind of want to do that. Of course, I'm going to hit myself. Oh, I hit him. Okay, I thought that was the tails. I thought for sure. I was like, what's the only thing that can go wrong here? I hit myself. Sure enough, I did not, so it's good. Oh no, that's awful. Energy cards going in the discard pile. Huh. Enhanced Hammer's not helping. This is awful. This is very much an energy denial type situation where I don't have much going on. And I still can't do anything. So, we'll see what they give me. Retreat? No. Possibly. Okay. Maybe. Yes, that's good. That works. I can switch out now. He's going to retreat. I mean, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and get energy card from the discard pile attached to this Pokemon, and we'll go from there. I desperately need a few things. Ooh, that's going to kill me on the next turn. Here we go. I don't have any energy cards in the discard pile, though, so I'm in kind of a weird situation. Yeah, that's cool. Let's get that on there. I can use that attack again next turn to get energy here. There's 60 damage. No energy in there yet. Once he gets KO'd, there will be. And then this Volcanion can come out and try to take over. Get an energy attached to that Houndoom. And we'll see how that goes. This is an interesting match that we have going here. This Volcanion it's already damaged. It's not going to matter that much. But I still need some energy cards from somewhere. The best thing to happen to me would be if I can get an N. An N would be perfect. Or, even better, a Sycamore. Thank you. Thank you so much. I needed that. I really did. So now we're going to get a shuffle here, which might help me in the long run. It actually probably will help me in the long run. Oh no, Field Blower is going to take away that tool card. That's awful. I don't have any energy cards in the discard pile now anyway, so for me to waste my next turn or not attack on the next turn might not be a bad idea. Instruct 2 more cards. Oranguru is getting as much draw power as it can get right now. Being in a situation where you have, less than 3 cards happens a lot more often than you'd think it would. Actually, quite a bit. We're going to put Vulpix down there. I've got this Ninetales I can evolve into as well, so that could help. Enhanced Hammer, get rid of that DCE. I'm just going to evolve. I don't have any cards in there that I can get, so I'm just going to evolve. May as well. Get that out of the way. He'll take his prize card. That's fine. He might retreat. Oh, that's fine. It doesn't matter. I would have saved that because he's going to kill this Pokemon anyway, so I would have saved it for the next turn and discarded energy from whatever Pokemon comes up next. I certainly would have saved that because this Volcanion is going to be KO'd anyway. So, I wouldn't call it a mistake on my opponent's part, just probably a less than opportunistic opportunity. Okay. So Fire Blast for 120. This one needs to go here for sure. Discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon. Do I need to right now? No, not really. 80 is going to kill him, so... There's a prize card. Ooh, special energies back into the deck will definitely help. He'll probably confuse me, which is kind of bad. Oh, I should have known that was coming. Enhanced Hammer always ruins my day. Just ruin. It's ruined. Skyla coming up for possibly Trainer's Mail or something like that. Crushing Hammer. Uh-oh. This could be bad. Yeah, that's fine. I can still get the attack off. It's no problem. Ooh. Go ahead and get these energies back into the deck here. And we'll go ahead and draw 7 new cards. How about that? Sounds good, right? I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work. I really have no clue. Could be 160. Could just hurt myself. No clue. Ugh. Of course. So 90. He might do 30 again. Okay. I'm going to try it again. I don't know how well it's going to work. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to use... I don't think I have Volcanion in this deck anymore. I'm going to use this Sycamore. Because I don't need these cards, and my opponent seems to be having trouble getting anything good, especially when it comes to energy cards. So if that's going to be the case, then let's go ahead and get some more stuff. Energy retrieval is going to help. That's actually kind of good. So hopefully this will be again. That's the worst. All right, so that's a KO. That's fine. Here comes Ninetales Break, and it can actually use. It could do the 120. It could do the 120 twice in a row. Well, not really. Never mind. Oh, actually, that's good. Okay. Let's just use this. Get rid of that energy card. And Explosive Fireball. 130. Get that energy card back. He might confuse me, which would be bad. Real bad. Probably will confuse me. Professor Birch, probably, or... Yeah. So my opponent needs to get energy cards. That's what I'm noticing here, is that there may not be a whole lot of energy cards in this deck. There's your Psybeam. Cool. There's your Confusion. Let's go here. Maybe try to get another energy card. Onto Vulpix, possibly. I could retreat. I don't want to do it that way, though. Let's go ahead and do this. That'll get me 5 cards. Let's try it. Explosive Fireball. Fingers crossed. Oh, gosh. You got to be kidding me. Come on. That's going to be 90 damage you're going to deal to me. So this may not work out. I'm a little worried about it. I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but I definitely need to get something else happening. I may have to retreat. I'm probably absolutely going to have to retreat here. Orangaroo back into the deck, or back into the hand. Psybeam. I really don't want this Ninetales to be KO'd, so I'm going to attach a Float Stone. Retreat here for this one. How about a little Confuse Ray of my own? How about that? Of course, I can retreat on the next turn, so that'll be good. And Confusion. With any luck, I'll have the same success that my opponent had with confusing people. Namely me. Confused the heck out of me, and it's not looking good. That Kangaskhan's going to end up KOing, making a bunch of problems. So if he's able to get this attack off, of course there's going to be a retreat. That's going to be cross-cut. Uh-oh. That's a KO, isn't it? Yeah. Ouch. So Ninetales will put him to sleep at least. That's kind of good. I don't think I have any other... I don't think I can do anything else. Like, I can put him to sleep, and that's hopefully gonna do the trick here. But he might still wake up. Okay, good. So that could be a KO. Maybe. We'll see. Kangaskhan don't evolve, so there's that. Ooh. He might be able to switch out or something. That would be bad. 50 damage for each heads. Ouch. I kind of need to take care of that now. But this is going to come up there and deal, God, 150 damage. So I got to make a decision here. Do I want to risk it? I think I do. Let's get this one out of here first. He's in very good shape right now. If he has an energy card, that's all it takes. Actually, getting this powered up might be good too. So, this is going to be an interesting match. Very interesting. I actually could... Okay, so there's possibly 100 damage, which is more than they need for the victory. We'll see how it goes. There it is. There it is. Yep. 100 damage. It was good, though. Tornado would have gone onto the bench. This would have been attached. That would have been attached. I could have made an epic comeback on that, but it was not in the cards, so to speak. Let's go on to match number 2 today. Match number 1 being a loss is you take your losses and you move on, right? You just move on. But that one was kind of a hard loss because it was kind of... It was right within my reach. I probably could have pulled it off. My opponent got the perfect flips. Just enough flips to win the game. But I think KOing that Espeon GX was the right move by far. So here we go, match number 2. My opponent did not have any basics, so I get to see what kind of cards they're running, at least a little bit. Sneak peek, fairy type deck is all I know right now. I think what I'll have to do... I probably need to put more energy cards and more Ultra Balls in this deck. And probably the Shrine of Memories too. Although I also need to make room for more Houndoom as well. So go here, go there, go here. I'm going to try to grab like a Sycamore or something. Because getting these in the discard pile is probably fine. But getting more cards out more quickly is probably going to help me out in the long run. Especially if I can get one of those Versus Seekers out from the deck. There's 3 of them, so should be good. That's fine. That's fine too. Either way, I would have been okay with it. It's all good. Okay. Nest Ball. Okay. I'm going to retreat here. Try to get these evolutions going. And this is only 20 damage, but it will also make my opponent unable to attack. So that's kind of good. Oh. You can have this other Ninetales. Ninetales Break is my jam. Joltik. Free retreat cost. Yep. Free retreat cost. Here comes Rainbow Force for 90 damage, 100 damage. Uh-oh. 160 would still get the KO. So I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and get this KO real quick. I was hoping very much for a energy card there. Okay. Bright Flame, discard 2 energy cards. It's going to be a lot more difficult for my opponent to do anything with Mew if there's no Xerneas on the bench. I'm guessing there's probably a card in my opponent's hand that'll help him get Xerneas back out because he kind of needs him. $10 damage there, I guess. I've seen these decks before, and they're very devastating. They're super devastating. But if you know what to do, killing Mews and killing Xerneas is probably the keys to victory here. This is, well, we'll see what card I get next. It's a high retreat cost, but it could be good. We'll see. Oh no! 60 damage. Maybe try to discard this energy. Maybe. Okay. We'll do this. Energy right there. We're going to make him switch. And use in. Get new cards. Hopefully, energy card is in there. Perfect. And we're going to use... Attack does 50 damage, which is totally fine. Because I can get more energy attached to my other Pokemon. I'm not sure how I feel about this GX attack. I feel like having 5 fire energy in your discard pile is difficult enough. So I'm really not sure how I feel about it. That Xerneas is coming right back. And some energy cards. Cool. Probably don't want to use in this turn if my opponent only has 2 cards. What's this one? 50 HP? I'm going to kill him. That's part of the strategy, is to have that Mew alive. I can't be having that. I can do it again. I can kill another one. He's got 2 Joltics. I could do it 2 more times. Joltik's evolution will... It's a dual energy type. So if I can kill him, I'll be alright. That's what we're going to do. The strategy just changed on the fly. I was going to do something totally different, and now I need to do this. So, this is how we're going to win. I feel a little bad, but it has to be done. Retreat cost is reduced with this Pokemon in play. This Pokemon's evolution has the same thing, Steel and Dark type, so it's going to have an extra type. It's going to be in Sycamore. It's a better choice, I think. I'm guessing there's going to be an enhanced hammer coming up soon, because this Pokemon down here actually has a lot of stuff going for it. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get Ninetales Breakout. I'll get a KO real quick, no problem. No problemo. Another Fire Energy, sweet. It's 190 damage if I get this attached to Ninetales. Enough for the KO there. 1 retreat cost. So I've pretty much got it at this point. I think that was a pretty good strategy, I think, for the most part. So, Rage Quit for the win. Not bad. 25 coins will bring me up to just over 200 for the pack of Guardians Rising cards. I'll be opening those up in just a few minutes here. One more match to just see how I stand or where I stand, and we'll go on from there. But let's see. So 50% today, not bad. If I can win this next match, I'll feel much better about my situation. I think I'm getting more used to this deck, so the more comfortable I am using this deck, the better off I do, or the better I play. Every deck has like a slightly different feel to it, so you have to kind of feel out how the deck is going to play and what you want to do with it. And I think so far I'm learning a little bit more about strategy and when to use Professor Sycamore, especially if you have like Versus Seekers in your deck. It's a realization I came to earlier this week and today specifically, is that if you have Versus Seekers in your deck, don't worry about losing the supporter cards. Worry more about losing the trainer cards. But if you don't need them, you don't need them. So. Uh-oh. This is going to be bad. I can't evolve on the first turn. This is going to be awful. Maybe this will make him discard? Cool. Could work. Ultra Ball, let's do that, because I'm going to discard these cards anyway. Let's go ahead and go with, Volcanion probably. Yeah. And then Professor Sycamore. Float Stone, possibly. I want to get Tortinator out also, since I don't have access to Houndoom. I'll get Tortinator out. Get that Float Stone attached. Can't do anything there, so we'll go ahead and maybe try to confuse this Tauros. That might help in the long run. We'll see. Okay. Another energy card. Let's go ahead and get out. Ooh, no, I want to confuse. Yeah. We can do that. Another Volcanion, I suppose. I'm going to discard cards again. Volcanion onto the bench to get these energy cards that we're going to be discarding back into play. Sycamore to get 7 Sycamore cards. Alright, here we go with, this is a good one. I like that one. Right there. I can do it again if I want to. I don't want to just yet, but I could do it again. I want to hold on to that because I might need it for a... it didn't work. He's going to be able to attack me with 60 damage, killing this thing. But there's a fire energy there. There's also a couple more in here, I think. One more at least. It'll be 2 total. Let's do this, I suppose. See what else we get. Switch. Another Sycamore. Steal the 20 damage here. Gotta be really careful with Tauros GX. If you deal too much damage right away and don't kill him, then he's just going to come back and just KO your whole team. So the next attack here is 160 damage. Not quite enough for the KO, so I have to do this at least one more time. There's a lot of EX Pokemon, or GX Pokemon down here, which is both good and bad, I think, for my opponent. $70 damage with Horn Attack. Get rid of that DCE. Do I want to? I don't want to do this yet. Not yet. Let's just switch out right here. No, let's not do that. That's a bad idea. Let's just do the 20 damage. Hope my opponent doesn't notice what's going on, and then I can deal the 160 and get the 210 that I need. 220. Yeah, that's just enough. He's powering up a second one. And that's fine. I have a strategy for that too. Vulpix. I guess I'll put a Float Stone on Vulpix, sure. I can get energy back. I only have the ability to get 1 though. I'm just going to go ahead and Sycamore again. It's kind of the last time I can do that though, so I got to be really careful. That'll probably work. This might work. Right over here. Okay, 160 should do the trick. 2 prize cards and get one of those energies back. Houndoom is one of those prize cards. Perfect. Exactly what I was hoping for. This kind of worked out. I was able to limit my opponent from really doing anything. And this next couple of turns, if he brings out Tauros, I'm going to use Shell Trap. Like 2 or 3 times. Just knowing that it's not going to mean much. So energy over there. I'm going to attach this one right here. Just as a preemptive kind of a thing. Shell Trap for 20 damage if my opponent decides to attack me. He's going to get 8 damage counters on him. So it's probably in your best interest not to do that, or to make me switch or something. That's fine. I don't think you know what's going to happen to you. Ouch. Ouch. And I thought that was going to happen. I thought for sure that rage quit was just inevitable. It had to happen, right? That was crazy. All right. Well, 50 more tokens will ensure that I'll be able to get another pack very shortly. But let's go ahead and purchase another Guardians Rising booster pack and get that opened up live on camera for you here. This is probably my favorite part of the show, even though I never ever get anything good. Like, I think Tortinator was the best thing I've gotten. And I like Tortinator. It's actually really cool. It's helped me out a lot. It's a really cool card. So hopefully a GX or something rare at least, something holofoil. But I do want to thank you for tuning in today, folks. If you're new to my channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I do videos every Monday through Friday on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. And I do a lot on Twitch as well, so check me out there. But hopefully there'll be something good inside this pack. Let's see what comes up. Grass energy. That grass dough. It's so annoying. I never get anything good. Like, this isn't even that great. I mean, it's rare, sure, but it's, I mean, I can't really judge till I've read it. So let's see. Talonflame with 130 HP. Flame Charge for 30 damage. Search your deck for a fire energy card and attach it to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. Loop the Loop is 90 damage. Put all energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. I don't love it. I don't love it. Mudsdale with 140 HP. Enhanced Stomp, 60 damage. If this Pokemon has a tool card attached to it, do 60 more damage. And High Horsepower with 180 HP. Pokemon does 40 damage to itself, though. Aether Paradise Conservation Area. Put our basic grass Pokemon and basic lightning Pokemon take 30 less damage from the opponent's attacks. Kind of cool. We've got Alolan Graveler with 110 HP. Thunder Punch does 50 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, the attack does 20 more damage. But if tails, you do 20 damage to yourself. And Electro Bullet with 80 damage. The attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Hala is shuffle your hand into your deck. If you have used your GX attack, draw 7 cards. If not, draw 4 cards. Fletchling with 50 HP. Growl. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon's attacks do 20 less damage. And Flap for 20 damage. Alola Geodude is 70 HP. Rock Polish. Pokemon has no retreat cost during your next turn. And Rollout for 40 damage. Mudbray with 80 HP. Double Kick for 30 damage. Times the number of heads on 2 coin flips. Carvanha, 50 HP. Bite for 10 damage. Barboach with 60 HP. Hook for 10 damage. And Mudslap for 20 damage. And the super cool Alola Energy that I cannot use because I can't find it in my collection. But I have 7 of them now, so that's cool. I want to thank you guys for tuning in one last time. I'm going to sign off for the rest of the day, but I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Until then, folks, I'll catch you on the flippity flip.